Welcome to the official AFL Fantasy podcast with the Traders.
G'day with the Traders. I'm Roy, Coach Destroy, and I'm here with Warnie.
Coach of the Wandogs.
And Calvin.
Father Christmas himself, Coach of Calvin Nator.
Oh, Father Christmas gives stuff.
That's
mate.
right.
You take.
I do take a lot.
You take a lot. But hey,
We're back.
It's our traditional
Yes, it is.
Christmas special, dog.
And it's come at an amazing time.
What, pre-Christmas?
Well, yeah, but
Well, true.
after the game
Yeah,
was
yeah.
launched.
Well, that's a very good point.
Maybe we
Sorry,
have
I
done
shut
one
you
when it's
down.
done there.
I
But
think we
anyway.
maybe did one.
But we were doing this last year,
Yes.
hoping that it'd be here before Christmas. It was in January. But this year, that was ridiculous. That's the earliest it's ever been. 15th of December.
How did you get that done?
Just, that's the pulling power that the Warn Dog has. And these players said, this is how we're going to do this year.
Doing it my way.
No one's ever questioned your pulling power, dog. I give you the hot.
It got done, which is good. So I guess the thing is that it was a very, I don't know, just smooth little, get it all done.
Yep.
Worked hard on
Did
getting
I
those
miss the heads
prices.
up on it? I saw it on Twitter. People are going, woohoo! What's going on? What's
Sorry
happened?
about that. No, it actually happened super
She's
quick.
open.
I know I was going into a maths class going, oh no.
Oh, they would have learned a lot that lesson, wouldn't they?
No, well, no, I was good. I was set up. I had my little Santa Claus little picture that I made. That was good.
Hey,
Did you
I
like
liked
that?
I did well.
Did
done.
you do that?
Yeah. Pretty
you're
good at
a
what I
He's
did.
very good.
Thought, get him on there. And people got excited and a heap of people just jumped on at the start. It was ridiculous. Like the counter of tick, 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 Regos was great, which is cool because everyone's keen. Everyone's excited. We've got a big year ahead. It's going to be an interesting year too. So if you missed some of those rules and the different things, go back to the previous episode. So if you're only jumping in now going,
What's going
keen
on?
for 2024, a couple of articles there. If you go to afl.com.au/fantasy, that's almost your little homepage that you can go and see. Here's all the latest articles and all the things there. The podcasts are on there, so you can click on there and have a listen to those. And hopefully get plenty of info about how it's all going to go down.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is we aren't playing round 0 when there's only 4 games on because it would just be a rabble of whatever we did.
It'd be stupid if you tried to play that.
There were some ideas about how you could do it, but I think the simplicity thing was to start round 1 with all 9 games, which means then, and even if we did play round 0, it's not going to change the fact that there's going to be buys in round 2, 3,
They still happen.
5 and 6. So we've got best 18 there. So all of that, there's info about how that's going to be managed. And now it's time that the game's open. We've got some strategy there. And one of the cool things, once you've got the Fantasy Coach subscription, boys, I cracked out the credit card and got you on with Fantasy Coach. You might have noticed up the top the little buy planners. So you've got those for those early buys.
I need those things.
Oh, yeah, look at
So
an
you
early buy detector.
Yeah.
A heap of new colours. What you clicking on?
No,
That's his
just
buy
like
detector.
Buy detector go.
Did you pay up and put a sound on it, dog?
Oh, yeah, you got orange. This is like scale of hardness areas. This is.
It's a little bit different.
Is that right?
Oh, it is.
I'm going to call that a teal, a maroon.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good feature.
Anyway, so that's going to help us be organised there. However, I think the way that it's gone with the best 18, it's very manageable. No matter what you're doing. So anyway, that's where it is. And Calvin,
Yes.
you are swagging around a little bit because you beat me for once. And you said
Beat you for once.
You said, can I do the team reveal, the first team reveal this year?
Showing initiative.
And you did. You want to. That's coming out on afl.com.au this week.
And the thing is, very rarely.
You're posting it.
He's posting it. So, when we sort of nodded and agreed that, that's all right. Yeah, go for it. That's cool.
At least we're getting his out of the way.
It's very rare that you create a winning team first go in mid-December.
Do you know what I reckon isn't rare?
What?
That creating that team is made worse the more you overthink
Yeah, I
it
know.
throughout the...
Yep.
So maybe you should really
Just leave it.
be able to go back to this.
So let's look at a couple of highlights in your team then, VA.
Okay.
What have you got there? Let's start in the back line. Who are sort of, I guess, are they your must-haves? Are they the ones that your no-brainer picks? Who have you
I've
got in
done
the
this.
back line?
Did Warnie pick it for you?
No.
Did you auto-select?
I haven't
No,
actually seen it until
you
today.
did it.
Okay, I've picked it.
You picked it.
He rings me before the podcast on the way in. I will double check that.
Well, there's a bit of credibility. As much as I'm happy for you to wear it.
So in the back line,
we're still a collective unit at
Very
times.
interested in this. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, without a doubt.
Nick Daicos is there. However, he could be a person that goes.
Right.
You've already failed.
No. I'm allowed to have him in there.
Got an early bye. He's got Finn McGuinness in the opening rounds.
No, he will be fine.
Wow.
If you don't start with guys like this, you can't get to them. So just keep
Finn
that.
McGuinness will be the judge of that.
When's that though?
Like round 5?
It's in so he goes round 4 against
Round 4.
Finn.
Yeah.
And then he's got the bye.
Oh,
next week.
my.
All right.
Oh,
2 players I am actually.
He hasn't thought about this.
No,
Already.
here's a couple of guys. Jack Sinclair and Wanganeen Miller.
oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So they play in that opening round, so
Yeah.
therefore they can basically play all the way through. So
No, they don't play.
they don't play.
This
You
is
know
going
what
to be
I mean?
a long.
You know what I mean. You know what I
gonna
mean.
be
So they
hard
won't. They'll be fine.
Right.
They'll be fine. Kitty Coleman's in there. Zac Williams is
Yes,
in there.
I'm liking these other guys.
He'd have to be high up there. Zac Williams is one of the picks. Now he starts training apparently
Oh, yeah, he is.
in January, so he's not into the main group stuff yet. But that value, 442.
So as far as structure goes, I'll just have at the moment. It's mid-December, boys.
Yeah.
1 rook on the field in the back line.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Into the
Daniel Curtin
midfield.
getting you a 40. That'll be
In
good.
the midfield. Hey, you got to have someone there,
What?
dog.
That what you do.
Bontempelli is going to be there.
Right. Yeah, fair.
Now,
If you looked at
you need a
he averaged
reliable
117. What was his best prior to that?
mate. Have a look what he did at the back end of the year.
He was unstoppable.
Yes, so he wants his Brownlow. Didn't get it last
Yeah.
time. Got ripped off. But
Brownlow Bond.
you need
He's
you
a good
need a
reason.
player in here where when you're around just going to rubbish, you can go, geez, it's Sunday afternoon, Bont, you're going to be my captain here and you're going to bring this home.
I can't believe he is now in that conversation as
Yep.
being that guy because
Yep.
everything leading up to that, we've always said he's not that guy.
Yep.
And now he is.
Roy Laird sits
Okay.
next to him because he's
Lairdy.
He's a little bit of value, Lairdy.
Well, he is, but
Yeah.
man, that was a tough ride last year.
It was.
You
But he-
forgiven?
No, he came
check
good.
the weather forecast early on.
Well, round 1, he had
yeah.
that 57. Then I've just gone with some value with Took, your mate Walshy.
Yep, nice.
Now Matt Crouch.
Why?
No.
Yes.
Cow.
Terminator,
Yes.
intervention.
Have a look.
This is just
have a
Cow
look
being
at it.
pre-season
No,
silly bugger.
have a look at it. It is legit.
Right, so he snuck back into the team at the end, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So I'll tell
You
you
don't
something.
feel like they're just going
priced
to
at
pop him
81.
straight back out?
So he's priced at 81.
Yeah.
He played in the last 6 games. He went at 98. All right. So
good.
Matt can
Very
be that near 100 guy.
If he's playing.
He'll play.
Will he be disrespected again? He should
No.
have been playing from the start.
Yeah, so he's also got that I think he had a 40 in there, which was a vest affected as well. So he's value.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of Matt, but Matt doesn't get picked all the time.
But I think he is. They just signed him for 2 more years, so he'll be fine. I think he's going to be there,
Did he
right?
get 2 years, did he?
Oh, I would have given him 2.
Research.
I think he got 2. And
3
then-
rookies.
That was prior to last year, wasn't it?
And then 3 rookies. So Colby, Riley Sanders. Now my boy Sharpie.
Oh,
Jeremy
Sharpie.
Sharpie.
Yeah, so he comes in at 300k, so he's
Yeah.
rookie priced.
He will take that wing role that was
you
left by
reckon?
Liam Henry. Has to get it, surely.
You would think.
So,
He's
anyway,
in the mix, I reckon.
at the moment, just 3 rookies in the midfield. Roy, my rucks, I go Grundy. I think he's going to be obviously one of the most popular
Why'd you say him first?
because I'm going to the island.
Welcome.
I'm going to X-Area Island.
Look, anyone
I
confidently
think it's
saying
a
that
pick.
didn't come last year.
I know. I understand. I know there's a lot of pain.
There's no Goldberg.
There is. You know how big I was on him in last year's preseason.
Yeah.
He remains a genuine gun.
580's cheap.
All right, it's cheap.
580.
He is going
So
to
that's
surpass that.
So
with
priced at
ease.
64.
Yeah.
So what does that 64 turn into? How much upside is there for him?
I think it could be.
Can he hit 80?
I think he gets
he
80.
can go 85.
I think go 85.
if
'cause
he's
then that's
playing
gonna-
bulk ruck,
Yeah.
that's 85.
So last
Yeah, it
year,
has to be.
he
Yeah.
played round 7.
Points per minute in the first game.
well, exactly.
Well,
Led the league for most of the season.
He played without Goldie twice last year in 17 and 18 and scored a season high 110
Yeah.
and a 74.
Yeah.
Okay. Upside.
74s will be his bad days.
Well, that was against Hawthorn, who
Yeah.
are a red team on the
they
scale,
were.
Roy.
They
yeah.
were, I recall.
So, yeah, I'm happy with that at the moment.
Yeah. I don't
Now,
mind
the
it.
forward line is arguably the hardest position
But
because we've lost a heap.
there's
We've
slim
lost. We've
pickings.
talked about that in the positions pod, and they're gone. All the big dogs are gone, meaning that like Jack McRae is the highest ranked from last year's average forward, then followed by Dusty. Like,
are we like this is right in our hitting zone? Them two at the top. It feels like we're back in our prime days.
And of course, we lost
Bailey
as well.
Yeah, so he was probably one of my. When you could talk about first picks or whatever, he was probably never going to leave my forward line.
I'm with you. He was one I was happy not to overthink.
Yeah.
Just right age, superstar,
75 price, that type
way
thing.
down on
So
where he should
so
be.
it sucks massively because that was I could see that was going to be a big year for him, like a contract year. Because he heads into free agency,
he does,
isn't he, at the end of this year? So
probably won't see him in Bulldogs colours again.
Interesting, but yeah. So
shopping around for premiums in that forward line, Sam Flanders is in there at the moment.
We throw the term lock around early, but that has to be a lock, doesn't it?
Gold Coast Suns want to lock him in. They were very active on social when
they were.
The game opened up.
That is true.
Now Dimmer Hardwick was cracked into the account. Get on him.
Now next to him, right? and I hate it, but there's no one else. I've got small potato.
Oh, you have not.
You're an idiot.
What? This is a real pre-Christmas.
How else can you fill those 6 spots?
By picking someone that can football?
Give me one.
Remember what he did to Dog again?
No.
Where was that? Ballarat?
Ballarat. Wednesday, actually. That's what you got to look at your fixture for that.
I'm being dead serious. There are 3. They're the 3 premiums.
Can't you just start all your rookies there in that
6
line
rookies.
then?
Well, possibly.
Oh,
There's no
There's
one.
value plays.
Give me a couple then.
Like, I don't know.
See, and you're about to get laughed at.
Where's Tex?
Tex. He's improved his average every year.
You are missing a walk-up, a layup here in the forward line.
Who's that?
Taylor Adams.
No.
You're picking Taylor Adams over Caleb Daniel.
No, I'm not.
120k cheaper.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
He's going into that midfield.
He will last.
He's cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh, my cow.
Good one. Great start to your pre-season.
No.
I'm not worried about losing to you this year.
I'm not picking people like Taylor Adams.
But you're picking Caleb Daniel.
But for their body and their injuries. Daniel doesn't get injured. He's just permanently wears a helmet.
Bruce. That little potato.
Taylor Adams will ping a hammy round 1. You'll have a 20 next to him.
At least he has an excuse for his 20s. What about Potato?
That's only in the rat. That's in that Ballarat.
Oh, man, oh, man.
Nah, there's value.
Starting him.
There's a lot of value around.
I'm not putting Taylor Adams in my December
Are you
team.
seriously ruling?
Yeah, at the moment. It's December and he's not in it.
That's the safest time to have him.
But you've got some rookies there, this is where, like, Harley Reid is obviously
most
in your
selected
team.
player so far.
Is he?
Oh,
yes.
what?
Yep.
Why would he be the most selected player?
Don't know.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for bringing my attention to that conversation / argument that Warnie was having on the socials about Harley Reid today.
There wasn't even an argument. It was like, wow.
Bloody entertaining.
A thing I like to do in the preseason, though, with my bench rookies, don't just fill it with 200k guys. Always have a little bit of value in there. Put them at, the 230s, the 240 mark.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Little strategy I learnt a couple of years ago.
Okay, that's one thing, though.
Just
We are
makes it-
paying up for rookies this year because that rookie crisis.
Oh, here we go, rookie crisis.
No, the rookie crisis this year is that the best job security are going to come from those players that are a lot more expensive.
Why would that be, Dog?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I don't reckon many 200k is going to play.
And they were sort of picked ahead of everyone else in the draft, weren't they?
So people thought they were
they're
better.
actually going to be better.
But there's going to be things like, see, you haven't taken it. You need to move. If you're picking Finlay McRae at 310, he's not sitting on your bench.
No,
No.
he's on midfield. He's on midfield, mate. Because I rank him in order of price. He actually sits at, oh my God. So that's what I mean. He's F4.
Well, actually, looking at your thing, you had Harley Reid at F4.
No.
So,
I know. It is just, we're going to have a lot of chat about the forward line. It is disgusting.
yeah, it's no good. There's going to be a tactic around it. Now,
Can't wait till we
as
do
far
our
as
draft rankings of the forwards.
A unique thing with rookies is we're going to get a look at a few.
Yep.
So that's going to dictate
Yes.
a lot of things.
Yep.
We'll be able to look and go, hang on,
He
job
can be-
security and can score.
Can be on our field.
Or there'll be job security, not a great scorer.
Yep.
Pick him to the pine. We're going to see a few.
Yep.
You would think, Dog, rookie crisis.
Yeah, we'll
Will
see
there-
a few.
All right.
There'll be a few in those teams.
But
wouldn't there?
I think where you're
forward?
talking with your things, Cow, I reckon we will find some value guys that might put their hands up.
Yeah, and that's where you
But
get
it's
rid
not
of a
going to
guy.
be a guy that's going to go, average 100 or anything like that. I think we're going to be finding sort of that 10 to 20 points of upside in some players where that might be
enough
what you need to do, because some of these rookies, like Harley Reid, for example, is, let's say, averages 60, which is good, and that's fine. But it's not going to be those knockout picks that you're going to have for the whole year. Like Ashiza, we started with him in the forward line as one of our rookies, and obviously that was a keeper all year.
Yeah. No, that'll be McKercher doing that.
Yeah,
he'll be our little sneaky keeper.
He'll be racking it up. Now, out of 10, Dog, how do you score my team, mate?
I was going to give you a 10, but I thought you was out of 100. No, I don't know. It's not too bad. It's a good start. It's a good start. Like, even some of the rookies you've got there, I feel like you've made some astute selections. Like,
I've got Pink Eye there.
See, I like Jai Clark. That's not a bad shout at 237K.
Yeah, and he's that nice little price bracket, Roy. I could dump him down to 200 if I need to.
How's your Chris Burgess going to go? Is he going to get a game for you
Burjo.
Yeah, Burjo's there, yeah.
This is very old
I've been there before.
Will he get a game? Probably not, but he's there.
Yeah. Back up Burjo. That's been his nickname his whole career.
Up.
Yeah. He's always kicking around, doing a good job in the Magoos.
We'll talk about him when we do the Adelaide team destroy.
I reckon.
Yep. Anyway, most selected so far. Give me a lockability ranking. Maybe out of 5.
Okay.
I don't know why 5, but Harley Reid.
5.
Yeah, he's going to be playing. That's what it's all about.
I've seen he'll probably win their BNF.
Yeah.
Nick Daicos. So Cow's all over it.
No, I'm not all over it.
Well, you picked him.
I've picked him, but I'm not all over it.
4.5.
For lockability.
I
don't him at a 3.
Yeah,
I just think that...
I'd like to have him, but I just feel like the play will be that he's going to...
Are we not doing what we did last year? Oh, he might get tagged in round 5 and then 4.
Well, he's got Finn, though. Like, that's as if Finn's not going to Nick Daicos.
He'll be better, though. He will be better than what he was last year.
Freaking broke his bones. He was that good.
I know. But I just think by that point, he could be averaging 120.
Yeah. Right, Brodie Grundy. Is he the biggest lock of a ruck?
I think so.
At this stage. But what about in round 1 when we've seen him? Like what?
Yeah.
Like the thing is, it could change everything.
It could.
But yeah, Dog, at this stage.
So that's probably one thing that we may not have been that clear with in the other episode or whatever. It was pretty much those price changes. They're getting 2 price changes in 1 week. So their scores in round 0 and then round 1 will be like they've had 2 price changes. If you went up 50 grand in week 1, went up 30 grand in week 2, or round 0, round 1, then that's quick maths, 80K.
Thing is for Grundy, he plays max gone in the opening round. So
I hope he gets get tricked there.
He could score a 70, right? Because Max is obviously Max. And people
this
just
is the ultimate revenge game.
Well, you reckon he's going to torch him?
No, but
Max
it's a revenge game.
He does.
It's a big revenge game.
Mate, it is the definition of.
Yeah.
This could be the biggest one we've ever seen in our lifetime.
Like, I don't know how all the dollars worked for his contract and stuff too, but if that got affected in any of this, that's even bigger revenge.
It's a huge revenge game.
Big revenge. Colby, 5.
5.
Daniel Curtin, I guess.
Yeah.
I think.
Because he should be playing for them. Sam Flanders.
4.
Yeah.
Or a 5. Just because it's in the forward line. There's nothing else.
Yeah, and I think the Suns will want him. It's going to be a good watch, though.
I just realised something. When I gave a 4.5 rating for Daicos, I thought we're out of 10 again. I've got no memory. He's nowhere near a 4.5, you idiot. Yeah, 2.5. Sorry.
There you go.
That'll do. My God.
Zane Dersman, I guess he's going to play forward. Yep.
Yeah.
Jack McRae. I think the news of Bailey Smith just has to.
You would think.
It just has to.
You would think so.
Riley Sanders. 5. What's his role going to be,
Roy?
Roy?
That's a 5, I think.
Yep.
Well, I think it's changing now with Bailey Smith out. I saw it as, you know how they rotate through those small forwards? It's like there's 2 or 3 of them that are there for about 2 weeks and then another one comes in. There's 3 of them, they look the same. I reckon he was going to come in and be the man in that role. But now I reckon he might sneak a few CBAs and stuff.
Yep.
Have you seen any footage of him at training
Yes,
as well?
I have, Roy.
He's been smoking.
He has.
Like strong.
Yeah, like they've got someone like Harms there.
Yep.
See ya.
Yep.
He's burning him.
After Riley is Sam Manor. Is that how you say it?
That's how you say it.
I reckon it would be.
Mind your manner, yeah. He's got a bit of lockability about him.
I think so.
We do love a mature age recruit.
We do.
That's
200K.
where that comes to, especially in December. We'll be locking them in.
Yeah, he's straight in.
Sam Walsh, I guess that was a lock, but having that second week bye.
Yep, that's a concern.
So the issues are he has a really good round 0.
Yes.
And then, plays round 1, goes up, whatever. If you don't get him from the start and you're going, yep, I'll get him after the bye, because he'll still be some value, but a lot of that value might be gone at that point.
I do say it was just a normal season. I see him as one of the value uber premium.
94.6 average is priced at.
And I think he's going like 110 areas again.
Agree.
Okay.
Right.
So that's big.
So it is. So that's enough then to tick off that first, that round 0 sort of guy.
I believe
I
so.
think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So his first game is he's at the Gabba, and then he's got Richmond. So not the easiest of matchup,
No,
but
it's not. I just think he's one that probably is that good. Now, I've always been thinking you wouldn't pick an uber premium from that that's got that round 0 game, but I think he is probably my exception to the rule. Yeah.
Max gone, so he's got that. He's an uber premium, but there's upside. It's a set and forget of old.
It is.
What do you think, Cal?
yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big Max fan.
You've got Xerri, but
Only for the value of it.
Yeah.
Max is still going
Because
over.
it changes your whole team.
Max will go over 100 easily.
so Max there priced at 92. He goes 10 points on that.
He does.
You would think so.
So there's
Takes
still
himself
value.
up to being R3.
You can put Max in and still say you're playing for the value there. Like it's
You could.
still there.
You can easily get him in because you've got some money on Daicos' head and also
Yeah.
potatoes.
Look, it's the first.
Exactly.
And am I allowed to change this team for my article, or now that we've
Well,
talked
you haven't
about it?
submitted it yet, have you?
No.
So you
I'm
can
tweak-
change it.
I'm glad we've
you've got some feedback.
It's your team.
Yeah, it is. That's
Just
right.
do what you want. Let everyone else judge you, not just us.
Could you imagine what I'd get?
I dare say that'll happen.
There's a chance I've got the winning team though.
There is.
A small chance.
If you've got your Fantasy Coach subscription, you'll be able to see all of those ownership figures to see how that matches up with your team. And I will say, at this time of the year, most people are on a pretty good wavelength with that, I reckon. Like, people are thinking in similar ways, which some people go, ooh, vanilla. But at this point of the season, it is like that. And there'll be some thinking about how you're going to attack those buys. That's the other side of it. Wouldn't be a Christmas special without talking to someone that's really important at this time of the year, and that is last year's winner. And we've got Darren Carr, the coach of Wise Ocean Pods, the 2023 AFL Fantasy Classic champion. Hey, Darren.
Hey, mate, how's it going?
Very good, mate. How are you? Are you down off cloud 9 yet? It's been a few months since you got the win. You still feeling it like, the man?
Yeah, I'm still feeling up there. Still just a bit in shock, honestly. Got a lot of reviewing to do and just still looking back at what the year 2023 was, really.
So have you had a bit of a think about what was the things that you learned out of last year? Obviously, you learnt that you now have a car and you're also walking around town with a number 1 hat on your head, which is a win.
Honestly, I haven't even taken the hat out of it. I put it in the display cabinet as soon as I got it. I maybe wore it once and I was like, nah, never touching it again. It's just going on display. I'll have to pack it up again this year and get one that I can wear around place, I reckon.
Awesome.
Now, after obviously getting the win and being the celebration of the town, do you put your feet up in the off-season or were you itching to get going again despite it being such a hectic end to the year?
Yeah, I was itching ready to go again. Already had my list for 2024 ready to go.
Wow.
And now that with the release, my team's already set. Now just a bit of tinkering, in the next 3 months.
Man, I mean, you're built different, Darren. That's why you get the win. Now, can you give us a little bit of insight into the opening team that you started with? Because I haven't got going yet.
So, obviously, I think this year's going to be a little bit different to previous years, obviously, with the buys and the new fixture that we have going on. So, there's a little bit of strategy to it. Obviously, with the opening round buys, that may play a little bit into what premiums I pick, trying to avoid that open buy.
Yep.
Obviously, you want to look for the value around. I don't think there's a heap of value this year compared to previous. So I'm currently looking at a guns and rookie sort of structure. But yeah, and it's also just focusing on what sort of fixture role of the scale of hardness will look like.
Oh.
You know.
Hello.
I'm excited for that to come out.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
Got the spreadsheet started on that V8.
I did. Yes. Thank you, Dog, for sending that through. Yes. Now, keep your hands off it. I've got it all under control. So with these buy rounds, obviously the early ones there. Now, how much thought are you putting into those, or are you just not worrying about them?
I'm not worrying about them too much. Like I said, I think I'll just try and avoid the premiums having them as much as possible, just so that, you know, you're obviously going to have best 18. You want all your premiums playing if that's possible. So, but in terms of like the trades and, you know, all that sort of stuff, I'm not treating it as like the regular buys as such. Yeah, it's a little bit different. I'm a little bit concerned of how we're going to tackle it, but I don't think it's going to play too much into anyone's favour. I think we're all in the same boat here.
The scale of hardness might dictate who you start with as well, so just keep an eye on that, man. I'll get it out to you soon.
One of the first,
I'm looking forward to it.
One of the first ones and the quick ones that people looked at is the rucks have been the talk of the early part of this pre-season. So there's a few options, I think, and you could be thinking in a couple of different ways. Have you felt like you've worked out your rucks that you're going to pick?
I think so. I think last year, obviously, the two main rucks really stood strong for most people that started with them and not messing around with it too much. So I'm looking at doing something quite similar with Gawn and Grundy. I think is pretty much set in stone. Obviously, they were the old set and forget duo. I don't see why they can go back to doing that now that they're apart.
Fair enough. You're looking at something same, aren't you?
Yeah, something similar to that. The people I was going to ask about whether you're starting or not. Will you start with one or two of the rat pasta combo?
Absolutely zero.
I reckon. I just had to ask. I was tempted to start there, but no.
Now, also, while we got you, mate, how many times has Warnie texted you or called you over the pre-season? It's only early days.
He's been pretty good, I'll be honest. I was expecting a bit more. But
It'll come.
It's coming, mate.
Well, you're a few steps ahead of me in the pre-season, so I will need to go and check that out. It's been a big off season. We've been busy.
You had AFLW stuff as well, so you've been a busy boy. We didn't have to do that, Roy.
No,
we weren't asked. But that's okay.
That's all right.
Not invited.
Not invited.
But we've been working out. We've all got our little booklets now. We made these little booklets to give ourselves some stats, and we try to hunt through them to find some value. So with that, have you found that value? So there's not much there, but have you got a couple of players that you think you're a pretty good chance at starting because they are offering that value at the start of the season?
Yeah, I've got a couple on my list. So I like the value of Kitty Coleman. I think now that Daniel Rich is gone, I think he'll kind of slot into that main distributor role. We've seen what he did in the grand final, cracking a ton, I think, in the first half, and before falling away, I think he can be easily average close to 100. I think he's priced at 70 at the moment, so that's 30 points upside, easy. So another one, Zac Williams. I think you guys touched on him previously. He's obviously coming back from ACL. He's priced at 4.42. I think you can easily get 25 points on top of that. Paddy Dow is an interesting one on my watch list. I'm not sure what his role is going to be at St Kilda. I'm hoping he sort of just slots into as that third inside mid. But I'll have to big watch on that one. Sam Walsh is another one. I think he was my first pick when I opened up the team. I think he's going to be pretty popular this time. And the forward line is just all over the place, isn't it? There's not a whole lot there that I'm super into. I know Fisher's his name's being thrown around a little bit. I'm still a bit hesitant on what his role is going to be. They're talking about half back row, which would be nice, but big watch on those few players, I think.
It's funny because every single player you just mentioned is in my team.
Right.
As of now.
Yeah, exactly. But that's going to be the thing. It's going to be very interesting with some decision making because a few of those players do have those buys. Like you're looking at Carlton and Brisbane. You've got your Kitty Coleman, you've got your Walsh, you've got your Williams that you said they're a great value, and they've got basically a buy the second week. So is that going to maybe limit some of your selections there, or you sort of the best 18 that it is going to allow you to still pick them see how that rolls out?
Yeah, I think if they're value, I'm happy to take them and just roll with the punches with the buys,
Yep.
But when I'm paying up for the premiums, that's when I sort of make my decision around what's happening with those opening round buys.
We're going to do lots of thinking and lots of talking about these buys, I think, this pre-season. It's going to be working out exactly what that is going to look like, because I think you still, even with the value in my head, still think we need to limit that, because it's still going to be a lot of coin on your bench for that week.
Yeah, no, it's a tough one. It remains to be seen what the right answer is. But after you mentioning those players there, I can't help but feel this year is set up for my success. If we're talking about Zac Williams, Walshy, Paddy Dow, man, I've talked about these guys for years.
And I know that you've got your set and forget ruck, but Roy, what about a bit of Tristain Xerri?
Don't rule him out. Do not rule him out.
Could be the man.
100% he could.
He could.
Darren, thoughts?
Yeah, I was keen on him before. I was keen on him before the preseason and all the positions came out. And what is he priced at? Where is he? I've got him at nearly 600 grand, 66.
Is upside though?
580, yeah.
80, yeah, okay.
I don't recall seeing you on the island.
15 points of that easily.
Well, that would.
You weren't on the island with me last year, were you?
No, I set and forget straight away. English and Marshall last year.
That's why you've got a car.
Served me pretty well all season.
Yeah, that's why you've got a car and I've got a beer belly.
Well, Darren, thanks so much for your time, mate. Enjoy tinkering with your team. We've got, we're under 90 days to go into our first lockout of the year. So I guess there's, plenty of time to be playing with it, but good luck with your research, and hopefully you get yourself up there again and go, it might be nice to go back to back, but also it'd be nice just to get that hat that you could actually not having the trophy cabinet and wear that around.
Wear it.
That's it. No, hoping for a good year, and best of luck to everyone else out there. I know it's going to be a good competitive year again, and looking to see what the community comes up with over the next 3 months before the opening round.
Legend. Love it, mate. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right, lads, it's time to hit up some questions. We put it out there on social, and a lot of people have questions. They're on board. Ready to go.
I can imagine so.
Which is very exciting. So we'll be hitting up plenty more as the preseason does go on. But we'll start with DC because it came out at the top of the list. If Santa could bring you one AFL Fantasy present for 2024, what would it be? He's actually already gone for some guesses. Roy. Zac Williams gets through a full game.
Ding!
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Hopefully it's more than just one full game for him. Calvin, Todd Goldstein returns to a 110 average at the Bombers.
What do you mean returns?
He's done it.
Goldie. Aren't you disrespectful to someone you love?
Ruck of the century.
He worship so much.
He is the ruck of a century. Yes. Ding! I want that one as well.
Goldberg, draft. Where's he going to rank in the rucks?
Well...
what's he going to do there?
90 plus.
A lot more than what Draper was doing.
That's the thing.
Well, Draper's not right.
We know that.
Yes.
Is he injured too?
And for me, Zach Smith comes out of retirement. I forgot about old Zach Smith and picking him once upon a time.
He was good.
No, as a rookie he was, not as a premium.
That's right.
No, I was trying to get through something. That's where my team turns to sometimes.
No one ever lets us get away with...
No, it feels like a while ago.
That's good by DC.
I don't even remember that.
I forgot to enjoy your failure there.
What would it be? What do you want to happen for your team?
For my team?
So if I'm saying that, if you're going like your Daicos, for example, that he doesn't get fingered.
I would love Daicos to just come out like he did last year and just go,
and that's a massive leg up.
Smack, like a 120s.
Yeah.
Why can't he?
Oh, of course he can.
Because Finn.
He's a gun. And he's been training over in the States with good people, good facilities, all that sort of stuff.
Make it better.
I wish I could just have a quarter of the luck Warnie has every year.
Oh, luck. Look at where my team ended up last year.
How did you manage
I know.
that? Goodness me.
I'd like the island to be successful.
Same here.
You know?
Don't get me wrong, the parties were fun. But they took their time.
I reckon they did.
My wish is I hope that I can land on what that structure will be at the start. Like of just going with the buys. It's just going to, doing my head in.
Trust you to overthink your wish.
Yeah.
Well, your wish sucks
Land
anyway,
on the
dog.
right structure.
Because you're not even going to do any good. We'll outscore you again.
No, you won't.
Land
You'll
on the
come
right
in here
structure.
moping around.
You're going to overthink. That's
There is
that's
no
what
way I
take out
lose
of
to you this year after seeing how you started with that team.
Where's your team?
Dog,
you haven't even really dug into it.
Autofield.
You haven't dug into it yet, like I have.
You're going to wreck the structure based on overthinking.
And wreck other people who listen.
All right, Pete's got this one. Just confirming it's unlimited trades up until round one. Yes, it is, of course. So right up until that, round one, even the last lockout of round one, it's unlimited trades.
There you
You
go.
can keep shuffling players as long as they haven't played yet.
Cool.
Round zero doesn't affect that. Leanne, who'll be 2024's stocking stuffer pick? So the rookie who'll be an afterthought when most of us make our teams, but turns out to be a great gift for those who stash him on their benches. It's interesting. Guess it, because it all comes down to round one selections.
Yeah, it does.
And who that is. But I don't know. It's one of those, it'll be one of those mid-round picks, like the mid-draft picks. It might be that's something between 200 and 250, and you go, oh, yeah, that's the person that actually does that, because sometimes we get put off. We'll go, yep, I'm spending up for Colby, I'm spending up for Harley Reid, and you feel like you may not want to
get a bit tight, don't you?
But we're going to get a bit of data, though. That's the thing. We've got the preseason games. We've got Bulldogs here as well, which is good. Hawks and Bulldogs at Utah Stadium.
Oh, yes.
Who's your blue boy? He's someone we could put on our preseason bench.
Jackson Binns.
Binsy. Get out of the bin.
Yeah. He's had a bit of experience.
Get on my field. Yeah.
He's
on your
sat
bench,
the Bulldogs bench for a while.
Now, he's not hoping for a Z-Will preseason.
No.
Binsy puts him further back. But he's one to watch. He can play.
Russ, 2468, is avoiding Nick Daicos until after his early buy viable option. Perhaps start a Sinclair type instead, or both, like Johnny's.
See, we're doing what we did last year.
You did. Don't put us all in
No,
this.
and
Daicos hate
No. As a person, Roy, who started with him,
yes,
you just sat back and laughed all the way through here. And
I did.
People like me who are like, oh, there's a tag coming up. You know, I'm a bit worried about that,
Yes,
Roy.
yes.
Just don't do it.
No.
Just lock him in from the start.
You were too worried about this.
Cow. It'll get you.
Hills has got this one. Does a bigger price rise of Sam Walsh that Sam Walsh would get after round one due to a lower break, even playing round zero, balance out the cash generation we would miss with him having the early buy?
It's a good question.
That's the $1 million question.
It is.
She could be $1 million after that.
Well,
it
is
could.
it $850 at the moment? Is it $850?
He won't be that much then.
No.
Yeah, but he's still going to be.
But he could get to 900 and still be value. Like it's.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a very interesting discussion in
What
the
he
lead
does
up
in
to actual round one proper. Won't
Yeah.
it?
Podcasts
Knowing a little bit
after
more what
round
he's
zero
done.
are going to be bloody incredible.
But it's
That
not
will be intense.
It's
Yeah.
not an easy game in that opening round for him playing Brisbane at the Gabba. Like it's not an easy one.
No such thing as a hard game for Sam.
That's true. Lock him in.
All right. Jacob has got this one. Despite losing DPP in past years, we go against picking mid only, but surely if fit and firing, can you pick the likes of Dunks, Gould and Butters with relative confidence? I think my biggest one off this, and this is where my head goes, it's not just because they have lost their dual position status.
Yeah.
They've usually had like a career year to lose that status.
Yeah.
And so it's just how much upside is there in some of those guys?
Well, you just look at. I get excited at the thought of having Goulden as a unique.
Yep.
Like just because of what he can do and his huge
But is it
ceiling.
that wing stuff that you go...
That's a worry. It is.
If he was an inside midfielder, you'd have a bit more confidence. Because does he go in there? I don't think he really does. I think he will remain as that winger.
I think so, but man, oh man, I never pick those guys,
I agree.
but I
Right.
always look at round 3 or 4
But what did we
teams
lose?
going well, and I go, oh yeah, there's Errol.
We lost Rory
did I-
Laird, and a lot of us put a line through him, and then
Yeah.
he's had that massive season as a mid-only.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Goulden, he's $1 million. Like, is that a little bit of a gamble for $1 million?
Well, no, you did it last year. You paid about that much for him. That's true. You didn't start with him.
answer your own question.
Finally
You
succumbed
should
to
know.
Yeah, you better to start with him. Pay the $1 million.
You'll be 2 before you know it.
John has almost exactly the same question there. He's got added in there Rosie and Dawson as those sorts of players that had it. So Dawson there. I think Dawson's someone that has that game, but he dropped off a bit, didn't he, in the back half of the year?
I think it's his last 4 games.
Your mate Matt Crouch in, that's why.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
why wasn't Matt Crouch in your team?
Hey, you wait.
Rosie, captain.
You had Matt Crouch.
Rosie, exactly.
Like, he's a genuine gun, and he was pretty consistent. He'd be tempting
captain now. We need to dig into the stats of being awarded captaincy.
What it does to you.
They become more unselfish.
Some thrive on it. Yeah, no, it would be
you're the skipper.
Checking it out.
Now, Ben Scott, how do we feel about M1 to 4 filled with 800k price guys like Butters, Took, Steele and Walsh? That's where we want to look, I think. Find those players that are
your team's going to look so much better across the board with those guys because they're all genuine jets.
Yes. That's where you've got your Bont, and I know you're talking about the captain option there, but are you slicing kind off of these guys that have been there before?
I always want that one guy, and last year it was Laddie for me.
Yeah.
And that didn't quite turn out.
Nah, it didn't.
How did I still beat you, dog?
No, because I started with him too.
I'm a captain in round. Yeah. Because what happens is he gets real stressed out before the start of the season, right? And he goes,
locked into your team.
He has a look at my team. He goes, he's got Laddie. Sort of wets the bed, gets all panicky, old dog, and he does the same thing. Don't you, dog?
Yes. yes.
No. Oh, man. Somehow, round 1, we all, because I didn't go Laird, but you guys didn't go to the island with me. Imagine if you had the Laird Xerri combo round 1 last
year.
There's no coming back.
No, there isn't.
Corey, is it worth the Xerri and Grundy combo to get a better team all round?
Yep.
That's where you can shave some gold.
You've got me. You've got me. Because if it fails, you can always come back and you're welcome.
But what's he going to fail? How does Xerri fail?
Gets injured
Just
again.
watch the round 1 first quarter.
Priced at 64.
Yeah.
Without an injury. That he can't fail.
He can't fail without
He can't
injury.
fail on that.
James wants to know, are we getting the pre-buy or post-buy Taranto this year? Because that's ridiculous what those differences were.
Just put a line through him.
You can't touch it.
He's
$1 million.
Well, that's the other side of it. Like, there's a bit of...
We always look at how, we were at the record stuff, how they ended the year and we're like, oh, wow, this guy's value because up until that point he was averaging this, now he's got that.
But then we also say they did this at the end of the year.
So we go to Taranto and say, well, because he could be value.
Yeah. I just can't say
what changed?
There's no way.
After watching the back end of the season, you just couldn't pay up for that.
For the same price, you've got Jordan Dawson, Zach Merritt, and Goulden.
So with Taranto, you go, he's way overpriced because he was actually good in the first half of the year. And now I feel like that's what he is, what we saw at the end.
Unbelievable.
Right. Some good questions here. Ode wants to know, what's more important at lunch, the trifle or the ham? Ham.
It's ham.
It's ham.
Yep.
If it's done well, glazed ham.
God, dog's excited.
Dulce wants to know, why didn't Calvin win the World Microsoft Excel Championship this week? Have you learned any new skills recently?
I haven't entered it for a couple of years, to be honest.
Haven't you?
No.
Sometimes it's best to step away from the game for a little bit and then come back firing.
The thing is, though, the judges, when I was entering that a couple of years ago, they didn't appreciate the colours.
No.
And that's my thing.
Yeah. But there's probably people winning it with colours now. They've copied your old technique and now it's all the fad.
Well, they don't even know how to do averages, these blokes.
Well, you might have some new colours to use, though.
Yeah.
With those new biplanar colours.
Yep.
So might go,
bring those in.
Deal.
Bring those in. Deal.
Right, back on track. Rob, Jack Billings, is he worth a chance as a mid-pricer given the lack of forward options?
Look,
we need the same question for Nat 5.
We need to.
So they could be.
We need to talk about him because
I've got no faith in 5, but Billings interests me.
Well, yeah. Just because we've got no one else. He's 538.
Yeah. He's been a player before. I mean, not that 5 hasn't, but Billings is a better age than 5.
5's under 500.
Okay, I'm interested.
I think they're names we just monitor. Like, we can't cross them off.
No, you can't.
But if 5 comes out and has a full pre-season...
He's not going to have midfield time.
Oh, he might pinch hit.
Some, but yeah.
But at under 500k in a position where we need players...
He was getting vests and
he's
stuff.
a name.
Oh, mate.
He was being disrespected. I'm not going near 5.
Okay.
I don't care what price.
Nathan, is Fantasia at all worth it as a bench option? Roy, he's gone to your Blue Boys. Well, he'll be written about in the preseason.
He's one of the most talented small forwards in the game.
Oh, here we go.
So he's 269. He has to be thought about.
Well, you'd be thinking about him at $400,000.
You did one year at that
Yeah,
price.
and remember how that ended.
Not well.
No.
That was my.
How many games has he played in the last 2 years? 3 games in the last 2 years.
Absolute bargain. He is one of the genuine bargains of the competition, though. If he can have some sort of a preseason, he gets
Imagine
in
if he went to another club.
I know.
What?
Don't touch it.
He's legit. If they're all fit, I think he still sneaks into their best 22.
Do you really?
What?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Whose spot does he
Like
get?
people like Motlop and Owies and those
They're
guys.
better, aren't they?
Well, I don't know. I think he can take their spot
But
if he's fit.
you're right,
He's kicked near 40 goals in a season before.
Rookie priced.
All right, Walton wants this one. 1-word descriptions for these names. Elijah Sartis.
That
That's
wasn't a
a
word.
word.
That was a sound. Yeah.
Watch.
Ford.
Yeah.
That's my word. Ford.
Yeah. That's why I'm watching him, though.
Kitty Coleman.
Lock.
In.
Bye.
See ya.
Well, he's got an early bye. Will Day. Mid only.
No.
That's hyphenated, so it counts as one word.
No.
No.
Ivan Soldo.
Hell no.
Is that hyphenated?
Yes, it is. No. We are not.
Nah.
No. And he's not. He's quite expensive. He's not cheap.
This is a lot of words you're giving.
We'll get to talk about him later.
Yeah, we
when
will.
we get to Port Adelaide. Whenever that is.
That's a no, though, for the big fella, isn't it?
It is right. Yes.
But he is good.
Michael
He's
wants to know who's
talented.
your first pick and why is it Paddy Dow? You got a bit of Paddy Dow love, Roy?
Roy.
I do. I've got a lot of Paddy Dow.
Do you really?
I always have. And I think this year he's going to, he can't not average 75 if he's in the middle for them.
No.
What?
Really?
I can't see how.
75.
Minimum. Surely. How? Could he not? They're not much chop either. He walks into that.
Michael on Facebook saying, will Grundy share the ruck at Sydney? I don't think so.
I couldn't imagine so.
I have that fear.
Who with?
But the reason I sleep at night is knowing I'll get to look at it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure who with. There was a couple of guys that I thought might, 60-40. I don't want him at 60-40.
No, neither do I.
He is like a big diesel. He needs to roll out 85% of the game in there. And that's when he is at his best.
I can see a lot of teams starting with, let's go like a Max and a Grundy.
Yeah.
Grundy doesn't look like he should, then, eliminate the risk of that and go down to the Xerri Island.
Yeah. It's certainly one to watch. But at this stage, I think he'll be playing enough in there for us to pick him. But I'm glad we do get to have a look at it.
Agree.
Right. Who would you take if you had the first pick in draft? It says Tim English for Tom, who asked that question. I think it is.
I think it is.
It is for me at the moment.
So
That's
who's
where
number
I'd go.
2, though?
Is it Ronan?
I think it has to be.
I think it is.
If English is off the board, it's the obvious one that
It
is
is.
going to be closer to him. I still think
And
he
is it-
goes backwards a little bit, old Marshall.
Do you?
I don't know why, but I feel
do
like he
I.
does.
He's a jet, and he's a captain option. He's number 2 for sure.
I think so.
And then midfielders for
I think
a long
so.
time.
Just
Daicos will sneak in there somewhere, but
yeah. Actually, that's one that I would even consider at 3.
ooh.
You?
Well, who's your number 1 mid?
Bond.
Right.
Agree or not?
Yeah. So you wouldn't take Bont before Daicos, though, would you?
Geez, yeah. That's like a toiger.
It is, isn't it?
Well, I think there's going to be a big gap between Daicos and the next best.
That next one's lucky to even be 100 even. They might be just around the 100 mark.
15
Whereas
points
Daicos could be
difference.
that 10
Yeah.
to
Yep.
whatever.
Yeah.
Good question.
Great question.
Rightio. Will be a solid podcast, says Mark, because all the questions are here. We'll try to get as many, as long as I don't hear the words McGrath or Williams.
Oh.
McGrath. Williams is McGrath.
Oh.
Is he?
He's 442K, is Z Will.
And he's got talent.
Oh, number 1 draft pick.
God. God, I always say that the people in charge of recruiting are overpaid and they need to be looked at a lot harder.
Yep.
Will this be the year that Cow finally cracks the top 10K?
Oh, see, where's that come from? Why has that happened?
That's a real question.
That's another one of your burner accounts.
That's a drive-by.
That's not fair. Who wrote that?
Will it be, though? Answer it.
I was under 10K this year.
Were you?
Yes.
Did you make it?
Yes, I did. Put that in your pipe. Who is that?
That
What's his name? So I can just keep tracking him.
Carrill.
Right. I'm jotting that down in the book. You're on the list, mate. I was inside 10K this year.
Were you?
Remember that was a goal, and I got it with a couple of weeks
Or was it
to
just
go.
for a week?
I think he slipped back out.
No, I didn't. I was in there.
Oh, well.
Where were
really
you,
matter.
dog? Where were you and your 20,000 friends?
13K.
Oh, 13K. Gross.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad you can laugh about
It's
it.
the only
now.
time that I've ever been anywhere near that. Ever.
Look, it was a hard year. Right?
It was.
It was a difficult year.
And we're all... Well, yep. We'll be right.
Happy to see the back of it, I think.
Yeah.
We all were.
Very much so. Right, a couple of other questions here before we pack up shop. There's a lot of questions, and we won't get to
That's
all
good,
of them.
though.
We're going to
People
try
are
to do some other stuff at some points. We might even do like a little Twitter or X Spaces or something.
Oh, yes.
Got him out of Andrew. Wants to have one.
He does.
Yes.
We'll have to
we
do that. We might have to
get
try to do that during
make
the
that
week.
happen.
Guy wants to know, breakfast beers a must on Christmas Day. Well, Calvin, here's a good one that you can answer.
Breakfast beer is good any day.
Right. Do you have to travel Christmas Day?
Me? No.
That's all right.
So, yes.
Yes.
Breakfast
From
beer.
the couch to the table to the couch.
You get to see your family.
Will I see them?
Yeah.
In the morning. And then I'll settle downstairs.
Blurred version.
Lock the door.
Are they going to be... Oh, sorry, I'll ask that one in a sec, but because that might be our last one. When do you open up your Christmas presents? Christmas Eve or Christmas Day? Michael's got that question.
You'd be an absolute psycho if you did it on Christmas Eve, wouldn't you?
People do it.
What?
We used to, as our family ones, because we'd be travel, like we'd have to drive 2 different spots. And
That's what's happened to you. That's
What?
how you've turned out like this.
It's Christmas Day all the way.
You don't open on Christmas Eve.
No.
Why not? That's just people that are impatient.
Yeah, it is.
And they can't control themselves.
Yeah, it is.
Like my kids are going, can we open presents? No, mate.
No.
You wait till Christmas.
You got to sit there and look at it and feel the pain of
You've got to
not opening it.
It's a lesson of patience.
It is.
I can't believe people do that.
No, it's
You
Christmas
know
Day,
something
mate.
else I saw as well?
what?
There was a bloke in town the other day driving around with tinsel on his car.
Yeah, see, you'd be that sort of
No,
operator, I reckon.
why would I do
You
that? That is just stupid.
You'd do that with your Aussie flag and your tinsel. I could see you doing that.
I was walking with someone the other day that observed a tinseled car and praised how well they'd done with it.
Oh,
So there's people that appreciate it.
you don't praise it.
It was like good 2 minutes of conversation about how well they'd done.
Will you wear a Christmas T-shirt on Christmas Day?
No, I won't.
I'm doing that.
Will
Do you
I
know
wear-
what I would
might wear a
have done?
hat, like a Santa hat or something.
Will you?
Maybe. Yep.
Ooh.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Way to get into it.
Bah humbug.
I've got 2 that I roll through, 2 Christmas T-shirts.
Do you?
One a Griswold one,
Yep.
Griswold Family Christmas. The other one, Elf. Actually, I'm having trouble splitting those 2 movies.
Yeah.
Which one I like more?
Elf's good.
It is.
Yep.
It's
I reckon-
unbelievably good.
Yeah, Big Girl hasn't done Elf yet.
Oh,
it's going to
lucky.
be good. Like, I reckon she's at a good age for
Yeah.
it now. Go and hit that
Hell
one.
yeah.
Christmas Vacation maybe a little bit later.
Yeah, wait for that one. But, man, oh, man, she's going to like that one day
Oh,
too.
yeah. Classic.
Yeah. Okay. God, there's a lot of random questions here. They're very good. These might be some good ones. Like Mark wants to know, what did each of you 3 average in the saloon in your heydays? Well, we're nowhere near Roy.
Crikey.
So, or is he talking about just beers?
Beers, I
Calvin,
reckon.
those dollar pots.
Don Bradman.
What's
area,
a
isn't it?
good, what's a
bloody
good punishment for a host with bad Wi-Fi?
Oh.
That would be disaster for you.
You really, it's got to be right up there with your research done.
Yeah.
Like, has to be hard-hitting
Yep.
questions if you're doing it an away game for it and stuff like that. Huge punishments.
Yes.
It's just completely unacceptable.
Last question from Darren here. Are they going to be doing a podcast on each team like they have in the past? Yes.
Yes, we
We're
are.
about to actually start getting a couple of those in the can.
Geez, there's some good ones to start with.
Oh,
Have you got West Coast, Roy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's going
I'm going to raise you Richmond.
Have you got Richmond?
Yeah, no, it's fair.
That's been a hard one to research for.
I love that someone asks about that though, because they've ridden it before. They know how it starts. And they just hang in there.
Yeah. And Calvin normally complains about North Melbourne. You've got a good team this year in North.
Strap yourself in.
Going to be good. They will be starting on Boxing Day. So there will be the article on afl.com.au and the AFL Live official app. So you'll be able to read some words, which hopefully makes some sense.
Yep.
And then you can listen to the podcast, which I can guarantee won't make sense for a lot of that. And the things that we say and forget from podcast to podcast, we contradict ourselves every single time.
It's all part of the ride.
So,
it's a journey.
We're going to actually try to get a couple of those in the can now. But for now, Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And, if you listen to this, I'm sure you've gone to fantasy.afl.com.au and registered and got signed up. And if the apps aren't there when you're listening to this, they won't be far away. But we're on board.
Wait for bloody Christmas Day to open your presents too.
Yes, come on, show some restraint.
Well, we couldn't wait for fantasy, so we got that out there. That's why we're like we are. All right, thanks, legends. We will talk to you next time. Make sure you're following on social. There'll be a bit of exciting stuff there as well. Catch up.
Fucking Christmas Eve.
I've heard it.
Fucking hell.